Hi everybody, welcome to a different type of Teaching Tuesday video today. I'm just making my way down to the simulators where I've got Eli warming up for a little lesson with me. So today I want to show you guys kind of what a lesson should look like and how you're supposed to practice after a lesson with a professional. Hey Eli, thanks for doing this today. We're going to show the viewers kind of what a lesson is going to look like. If you've never taken a lesson before, or maybe you haven't taken a lesson in a long time, it'll be really great for you to see kind of the lesson process and how we're going to make improvements to Eli's golf swing. So Eli's obviously a very good golfer. He's a golf professional. He can play really good golf, but like anyone, he can get better. Okay, so today we're working with Eli on something that we've identified in his swing that he needs to work on. So this video is not really about the specifics of what he's working on, but it's how he's working on it and the process he's going through that I want everyone to take away from today, okay? So that way, you know, after you take a lesson or maybe you know something that you need to work on, it'll be really good for you to see just how he goes about making improvements. And if you apply that to your practice, you're gonna get a lot better. So just briefly, I'm gonna show you what Eli's been working on. You're gonna see him come up to the top of the backswing, and what he tends to do is get a little too much on his toes. His body shifts a little too far forward, and then that kind of gets him stuck. He's got to drop the club too far behind him on the way down, and he gets a little too much from the inside. In other words, behind his body, and he hits push draws a little too much, okay? So we've already identified this in Eli's golf swing. So I'm just going to show you kind of a drill he's been working on, and we're going to show you the pacing of this drill to make it the most effective drill possible. So what we've done is we've grabbed a stool for Eli to use here, and all we're going to do is put it here, okay? So the most important part that we need to know is that he has some feedback. If you're trying to make changes without feedback, it's very, very difficult for you to know what you're actually doing. But if you have something like this in the way, he's going to know if he hits it versus not hitting it. That's obviously a difference, right? So Eli's going to get set up again, and he's got it right up against his hamstrings there, right? So he's going to make some slow motion swings where he feels his backside stay pushed up against that or even push into that stool, okay? So now he knows he's making a golf swing that looks a little bit more like he wants, where his weight stays a little more in his heels and doesn't get out onto his toes. Okay, so you can see him. I'm going to come in here because he's not going to hit this. And he's making a bunch of rehearsal swings, really exaggerating those feelings. So if we looked at a really good golf swing of Eli's, it's not going to look like this, but it's going to feel like this because he needs to exaggerate the feeling for it to, you know, kind of meet somewhere in the middle of his bad swing characteristic to this exaggerated. The middle will be a really good swing. Okay, so he's made a few of those swings. I'm going to go ahead and take this away now. And Eli, I'm going to get you to go ahead and hit one at half speed. Okay, good. So maybe that was a little more than half speed. Let's try one again a little slower. So the analogy I like to use is that we need to start slow, just like, and you're going to make mistakes, right? If you're not making mistakes during practice, you're not changing anything, you're not learning anything, okay? So remember, mistakes are a good thing. Mistakes are a learning opportunity. Much better. Good job. Okay, let's hit a couple more like that. And I was going to say before, the analogy I like to use is it's like learning to play a piece of music. First, you need to learn to play the notes. And then you need to learn to play the notes in order. And then you need to learn to play the notes in the right tempo. And then you need to learn to play the notes at the right speed. Okay? So if you can put this all together, we're going to go back up to full speed now. Very good. And once you get to full speed, typically what you're going to see is you're going to regress back to what you normally do. Okay? So after hitting a few at full speed, we're going to go back to this drill. Okay? So I'm going to bring the feedback back in for Eli, and you can get it set up how you like. And we'll just do a few more reps, not hitting any balls, making slow motions, backswings, feeling his butt kind of bump back into that stool, because that's the feeling that we've identified will benefit Eli the most. Okay, really good. A couple more. And obviously this is a compressed version of what a normal lesson would look like. We're moving through this pretty quickly because I want to show you guys as much as we can, right? So now we're going to go back to half speed. Yep, rehearsal, good, half speed swing. Good, so not a great result, but that's okay because we don't care, especially at half speed. The result is not what's important. What is important is that he's getting the same feelings as he did in those rehearsal swings. Good job, let's do one more. So Eli's not mic'd up right now, but one other thing we would be doing at this stage is getting some feedback from him. What is he feeling? What feels good? What feels bad, right? So obviously we've talked about this prior to the video. We know this is kind of the feeling you want, and the feedback cues that you're getting from that should be pretty good, right? Okay, so now that we've done a few half speed, we're gonna go up to full speed again. Good job. You could see that ball started to the right, but it took not a lot of curve, right? So that probably means he's making a pretty good correction, and the club's not coming too much from behind him. Really good, just minimal draw curve. Very nice. Okay, good. So you can see we've kind of done 3 steps in his learning curve, right? He's done 1 with feedback, really slow rehearsals, not actually hitting a golf ball. And then we ramped up to half speed where he's kind of rehearsing and then actually hitting it, but not at full speed to make sure he's getting the movement right. And then we're ramping again up to full speed, still trying to feel the same feelings that he was in those first 2 stages. Okay, so this is kind of the process of learning a new movement or a different movement pattern. It's something I don't think a lot of people understand about the learning process, especially in golf, because a lot of times your brain says you're doing something different, but really you're not doing anything significant enough to make a change. So you can see the precise strategic practice that goes into making changes. And oftentimes it's not very fun and it is a bit laborious, but in the end you will get much better results than just trying to make changes at full speed and never really making a big enough change to make a difference to your golf swing. Okay, so remember those 3 stages. Feedback, which is anything with a training aid or something to tell you what you're doing and what you're not doing. Half speed and then ramping up to full speed and then going through that cycle again and again. So it's not just I do 10 of the drill and then I'm 100%, right? Or it's not just I do 10 half speed and then I'm up to full speed. You have to go back and forth to keep building those patterns and to reinforce them, okay? So give it a try. If you don't know what to work on, come see a PGA professional, come see someone at the club, and we can help give you something to work on, and then you can take these principles and apply them and apply these changes in a really meaningful way so you make long-lasting change. And that's really what we want for your golf game. Yay!